memory. Consumer learning memory. We will have We have 5 sections to discuss. Can you hear me without the microphone?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to use this. Okay, so we talk about the consumer learning, and I also introduce you 3 consumer learning theory that we can apply to explain consumer behavior. And next, we talk about consumer memory, and I also introduce you the nostalgia marketing. Last week we had, in the last several weeks, we had some concepts, social marketing, sensory marketing, right? Today we will have a new concept, nostalgia marketing. So first we talk about consumer learning. So look at here, there are some logo of famous brand. So can you guess the name of the brand? The first one? McDonald's.
Nike. Monster.
Monster. Okay, right?
Toyota.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Okay. They are very familiar with you. So, question. Why do you know a brand name when you see its logo?
Because you've seen it so many times with the name, so you just automatically connect it.
Okay, so you see many times. It's been repetition.
Yes.
Repeat after the time, and you know. What else? Yeah, very famous. It's called global brand. Though they are very famous brand. Yeah. Is there any another reason? Any other reasons?
Advertising. So it's the same for every country. Global brand.
So because it's a global brand, and is have the franchises. It's engaged in franchising, so they appear in many countries. So although you come from different countries, so but when I show this logo, all of you know about the brand name. So we call it the consumer learning. So we know about this through the learning process. We know about the brand, about the company, about its product, its service through the learning process. Learning is a change in consumer behavior caused by experience. So we have some keywords: repetitions, experience. I guess in the past, you have more experience with these brands. For example, Starbucks, McDonald's. You have much experience with this brand. And even you already used the service of products of the brand frequently. Okay, so we call it a learning. It means change in consumer behavior due to experience. And remember that most of the human or consumer behavior is learned over time. It's learned over time. So how do we learn? This is the main focus of today's lessons. Yeah. How do we learn? Or how do consumers learn to know about because last week we talked about perception, right? Consumer perceive something. Perception. So today we go deeply to learning process. So we can learn by observing events that affect us or others. It means we learn from experience. We learn from observing something that's happened to us or another people. We can also learn unintentionally. It means we don't try. It means we don't intend to learn, but we learn it through something happened unintentionally. Here remains focus. Theories of learning. Yeah. It's so complicated to some new students who have not had the background in marketing. So theories of consumer learning, look at here. I can divide it into two types: behavioral learning and cognitive learning theory. Behavioral learning theory and cognitive learning theory. In the behavioral learning, we have the classical condition and instrumental condition. Okay, so you have to remember this before I go into detail. We can classify consumer learning theory into two main types. Okay, behavioral learning and cognitive learning. In the behavioral learning, we have two types. Okay, conditional, classical condition and instrumental conditions. So we talk first about the behavioral learning. Behavioral learning is focused on stimulus and response connections. Last week we talked about some marketing stimulus, right? Marketing stimuli or marketing stimulus. So here is a consumer. So we receive the consumer here. So we have many marketing or external stimulus affect us. And after we receive the marketing stimulus, we will have a process in our mind and lead to the behavioral response. So we call this the behavioral learning theory. Learning takes place as the result of response to external events. External event. Based on this, I will introduce a theory framework that I see many students use to in their thesis. SOR model. Stimulus, organism, and response. Stimulus means you try to find many variables that are external stimulus, and then leads to our emotions or feelings. We call organism, and then response is the behavior. You know, when you propose the theory, the research model, you don't know how to choose or which theory is suitable. So many students choose XOR model. We can expect, okay, something external. This means external event here. Leads to our response in internal response. This means emotion or feeling, and then leads to the behavioral response. So in this case, behavioral learning theory is focused on stimulus and response connections. How we respond to external stimulus, and through this we learn from the response. And this have two types: classical conditions and instrumental conditioning. So the main point of behavioral learning is we learn from our response to external events, external marketing stimulus. So we divide into classical condition and instrumental condition. So we talk about the classical conditions first. I believe that in the past, you already hear about this experiment. Who know about this? Yeah. Father, can you explain the procedure here?
So I think it's about a dog who gets food, and every time he gets food, he will, like, the person rings a bell. So he memorized that when he hears a bell ringing, that he will get some food. So the dog knows, okay, I hear it, so now I will get something to eat.
Yes. So before condition is okay. Look at here. I will explain a theory through this experiment. when the dog is see the fruit, what is its response? Yeah, not eating. Hungry, but what is the response here, Nicole? When the dog see the fruit, this is response. Focus on this. Okay? When we ring the bell, no response. Okay? It's a before conditioning. During conditioning, when we give the dog food, and at the same time we ring the bell, what is the response? Salivate. And over time, during maybe several weeks, when we ring the bell without the food they have, the response is different from in the past previous condition, before condition. Another example, unconditioned stimulus. Frequently when we listen to music, we will feel good, happy, right? We smile and we enjoy the music. It's a response to, we call this to unconditioned stimulus. When I give you a pen, no response. Before conditions. During conditions, when you listen to music, I also show the pen to you. And you smile, not because you see the pen, but because the music. And we repeat it over time, repeat. Maybe after a certain time, when you see the pen, you may think about the song or the music, and you have the similar response. You feel happy, you smile. You smile here not because you see the pen, but because you link the pen with your past experience. You link it with the music or the song. Okay? So we call it a classical condition learning behavior. Learning theory. So, when a neutral stimulus is repeatedly paired with a meaningful stimulus, so we have two stimulus here. Neutral stimulus. Neutral stimulus means the stimulus that doesn't cause your behavior. Meaningful stimulus is something that helps you have the response, positive or negative response. So the key point is repeat. So it can eventually produce the same response when we even present the neutral stimulus alone. So the key point here is repeat and combine two stimuli together. So the key point is how marketer can apply this theory in consumer behavior. Company can use classical conditioning to associate their products with positive emotions or response. As a marketer or marketing manager, they apply classical conditioning by try to link or associate their product with customer positive emotion or behavior response. And the main point is association is very important to marketing strategy. It means as a marketer, you have to let your customer, okay, when you see the product or the logo or the brand name, customer have to think positively about something and have the positive behavior response. is the purpose of marketing manager. If you show a brand, if the customer see your product or your service, they don't have any emotions, so you fail. You fail. So we can do it by applying conditional learning theory, classical condition principle. For example, we have some example. McDonald's signature golden arches have become the symbol around the world. So every time we see this logo, so we think about McDonald's. So when customers see the logo, they may experience feeling of hungry. They feel hungry. So you feel hungry not because you see the logo, but because you link your experience. When you see this logo, you think about McDonald's, and you think about some experience in the past you have with the McDonald's. We think about the hamburger. When we mention about because although McDonald's sells many kinds of products, but when we talk about McDonald's, we think about hungry, and it may make you feel hungry, and you want to go to the store to buy it. Of course, not on the same. Starbucks. Starbucks provides consumer a wide range of experience. Do you agree with me that when you come to a Starbucks store, you will feel comfortable about the atmosphere, right? Yeah. Because they focus on the design, focus on create the comfortable environment, atmospheres, and they also focus on the tasty drink. So in the past, if you didn't have the experience with the Starbucks, when you see its logo, okay, no feeling, because it's just a logo. But over time, when you already have experience with the Starbucks 1 time, 2 times, or 5 times, and whenever you go to the store, you can see the logo. And over time, this logo is in your mind, and you link the brand with the positive experience. You link it with the tasty drink, the store atmosphere, where the drinks with the not cheap price, right? We cannot say that the price of the Starbucks is low. No, maybe medium or high price compared to another brand name, coffee brand name. So a good experience is consistently paired with the brand name or logo. So over time, when customers see the Starbucks green siren logo, they are confident that they will get another good experience. Because you already have many good experience in the past. So whenever you see this logo, so you believe that okay, you will have the next good experience with the brand. So factor affect classical conditioning process. And I say 2 requirements for classical conditioning is repetition. Repetition is very important. Repeat. Repetitions. Increase the strength of stimulus response associations. Again, behavioral learning theories. They focus on the relationship between stimulus and response. So repeat or repetition is mean increase the strength of stimulus and response relationship. Repetitions can increase learning. Very easy to understand. You see it frequently, many times. Repeat. So you know about this. And when you know about this, it's already it's a result of learning process. More exposures to increase brand awareness. So that's why many company or many brands, they do advertisement in different channel to increase the exposure and reputations. Maybe through the TVC, or maybe through some event, or maybe some offline advertisement outside in the building. The main purpose is to increase the opportunity that consumer can expose to the brand name. But remember, too much exposure leads to advertising wear out. We need exposure and we need reputation, but too much is not good. Too much is not good. And this principle is true for any aspect in our life. Too much is not good. Learning too much is not good. But enjoy too much is not good. Okay, so we have to balance. So the next stimulus generalization. Stimulus generalization means respond in the same way to slightly different stimuli. Generalization. Because behavioral learning theory, again, is a relationship between stimulus and consumer behavior response. So the marketer try to generalize the stimulus. So we call it a stimulus generalization. Stimulus generalization. How can they do it? We have four strategy to do it. Family branding. Products like intentions, licensing, and look-alike packaging. The first one, family branding. Can you guess what is this? Family branding. Use the same brand name for different types of products. Of course, you have to follow intellectual property rights. Of course, you have to register your brand name as your your asset. We call it the IP, intellectual property. And after you successfully register, it's become your assets. You can use the same brand name for different types of products that you provide to the market. For example, you can see here Samsung. They have smartphone, right? They can also use Samsung for TV, also for and for fresh, the fresh, right? Also for washing machine, right? So Samsung is not only smartphone, so they use the same brand name for different types of products they produce. We call this the family branding. And by doing so, okay, it's increase or enhance consumer exposed to the brand name. Got it? Consumer can expose to brand name, not only smartphone. Okay. So it will have consumer increase the exposure to the brand. And over time, you can learn from your experience. And if you have, okay, remember the halo effect last week. If you have a good experience with one type of product of that brand, you tend to think another product of this brand also good quality. halo effect. So in the you already have good experience with the Samsung smartphone. So when you think about, okay, you will buy a television or you buy a washing machine. So because you already have the good experience with Samsung. So through learning process, over time you see, okay, when mentioned Samsung, you think about the good experience, good quality. So you tend to think another product of Samsung are also good quality. Got it? Family branding. And you can see many brands, they do the same thing, family branding, especially for the global brand. The next one, products like attentions. The same product, but in different versions. For example, Coca-Cola, they have the original Coca-Cola. They have the Coca-Cola Light, it's less sugar. Or Coca-Cola Zero, is zero sugar. Like products like attention. Or you can see this very famous brand, right? Colgate. Okay, they have the total optic white. They have the cleaning. Yeah, many another versions. Products like the same product, but in different version. They adjust or modify some elements or characteristics of product, and use the brand, the same brand name. Licensing. If licensing matter, you learn from me in the international marketing, international business management. Okay, we talk about the licensing. Licensing is mean company rent the well-known brand name. Copy that's learn association, they have created speak to the kinds of products. So you can see when you sell a t-shirt. Okay, if you don't put some picture on this or some name, brand name on this, maybe you don't have the marketing competition. So it means you don't have the difference with your other competitors. So they do licensing. You see, okay, the Mickey. This is very famous brand name, right? So licensing is mean they rent, brand is been, had to pay money for licensing. And after that, you have the right to print it in your t-shirts. Okay, so consumer, when they purchase these products, maybe not only about the function of this product, but because they love this. They love this picture, they love this brand. We call this a licensing. Look alike packaging. Here, Listerine, very famous brand, and many of you, most of you know about this, right? So another brand, because they don't have the IP, it means intellectual property right to use this brand. So they use another brand name, but the packaging is quite similar. And when consumers they see these products, they may link perception to this product. Look alike packaging. Or here, Head and Shoulder, right? Very famous brand of P&G. And I believe that most of consumers they know about this brand. So another brand name, they use dandruff shampoo. You don't know this brand name, it's not famous, right? But you can see, okay, the package is quite similar, look alike, similar. So when you see this, based on your learning process in the past, because you know about this brand, so you consumer they tend to link this product to the Facebook products. Lookalike packages. Of course, they don't violate the law, of course. So, again, for the stimulus generalizations, we have 4 main types. And we can use this to explain why the company they do so. Okay, when you learn consumer behavior, you have to think from 2 perspectives. You have to explain why the marketer do so. Yeah, not only about consumer, why consumer they respond like this, and why marketer do so. So I have a questions for you. Okay, you may brainstorm to think about this. How much classical conditioning operates for consumer who visits new tutoring website and irritated by the website avatar who reviews Albert Einstein? Think about this. Remember, we focus on new tutoring website, and we use the image Albert Einstein as the avatar. So how you apply classical conditioning to explain consumer behavior in this case? And what the marketer expect? What do marketers expect when they do so? So when we think about Albert Einstein, so what do you feel or what do you think? Smart. What else? Successful man. What else? Do you know him? My first question, do you know him?
Yes.
Okay. When you see his avatar, what is your response? Response is mean how do you feel and how do you react? So how do you think or feel about this avatar? This means you link your perception to Albert Einstein.
Like it is probably connected to all those things that we think about him. So we would connect it with smartness, with innovation, with creativity, with science. Like all these things will pop up in our head when we see an avatar that resembles
Okay.
him.
So remember, we want to attract customer to new tutoring website. The question is, why they don't use Albert Einstein for another products, for example, shampoo? No, impossible. You want to use this avatar to link consumer to some perception to visit your new tutoring website. So how can we use this theory to explain this? Two minutes to think. It's very easy. The first one, new tutoring website. It's a neutral stimulus. You mean the first time you visit it, you may not have any perception or feeling because it's a new tutoring website. You don't have experience with this, right? New tutoring website. You don't know about the quality. You don't know about experience from your relative. You don't know. So we call it a neutral. We don't have any response, any perception or any feeling. We call it neutral stimulus, right? But and I said before, when you see this avatar, okay, you have some response. And over time, when the marketer they use this avatar of Albert Einstein for the website, and every time you visit this website, you see this avatar. And you have the okay, you link your perception with this website with your perception with Albert Einstein. And over time, you may have the good response or good perception or good feeling toward the website. Okay, here. Mutual stimulus tutoring website. Initially, you are not familiar with this. But Albert Einstein widely associated with intelligence, genius, reliability, or innovation, something like that. So, you feel interest, admire, or intellectual growth, respect to Albert Einstein. So, through repeated exposure to avatar, resembling Einstein on the website, so the consumer begin to feel that website is trustworthy, smart, or expert-driven, because you link it to your perception about Albert Einstein. That also explains why many brands they collaborate with the social media influencer or celebrity to promote the product. Right? Have you ever questioned why the marketer they have to spend much money to collaborate with the famous people, celebrity, social media influencer, or maybe singer or famous people? Of course, they need to pay much money. Why? Have you ever asked these questions? No? Have you ever asked the question why the brand they have to do this to promote the product? Of course, we can explain it through many different perspectives, and classical conditioning is one perspective to explain this. Previously, when you see a new product, you may not have any response because you are not familiar with this. But some famous people, you trust them. You have the good perception, a good feeling, and good response when you see him or her. Okay, for example, Ronaldo. Okay, when we mention about Ronaldo, what do you feel or what do you think about him? Right? And when Ronaldo he promotes, it means he collaborates with any brand. So maybe some brand, for example, Clear. So you try to link your perception about these famous people to the products. And every time you purchase this product, you see the image of Ronaldo in the package. And over time, you are familiar with this. Right? So in the future, if this brand, for example, Clear, they don't collaborate with Ronaldo anymore, but you already had a good experience and good perception. And every time you see this product, you may think about the famous people, and you have the good perception. So it's one aspect, perspective, to explain the collaboration between brand and celebrity or famous people.